Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wayfinder video. Today we're going to talk about my boy, Wingrave. So of all the Wayfinders, the heroes you can play, Wingrave is definitely my favorite one. And probably going to be my main. You know, we have Wingrave, Silo, Nis, Senja, Karos, Venomous. But Wingrave, he is the guy who basically, that's my champion. I've always been a fan of Paladins, Crusaders, Priestess, all these like, you know, like Guardian themed NPCs. But this guy, yeah, we're gonna talk about Wingrave. So we don't, I mean, the game is not out, so I can't really make like a video where I show you the gameplay and show you how I do this and that. We basically just got a website. So in case you're new to the game and you don't really know the champions, we're gonna talk about Wingrave today. So let's hear his backstory. Wingrave is a Templar clad in spell-forged armor and sustained by his fate in the Architects. He's a natural leader and true champion, always ready to defend the innocent and smite the forces of evil. Very nice. And as you can see, he's a bad guy. Very nice. So, the Seeker. Basically, the complexity of this hero is low. Like 0.5 out of 5. This guy is someone that everyone can play, that everyone is like, if you really want to like try the game out for the first time and have an easy champion, I think what they're trying to tell you here is, yeah, you're gonna like this guy. Basically, you can see he has very much defense, he has very much support, and it's going a bit down, you know, in offensive. Like he has 3 points in offensive, 2 range, 8 support, 10 defense, and 3 control. So you can see like he's gonna be a tanky healer. I'm probably gonna like run a bit like offensive healing build on him. It's gonna be fun. Like I'm gonna be making build videos once we get the game tomorrow. It's gonna be real fun. Wingrave excels at close combat. He specializes in supporting allies, summoning shields of light, and healing his allies, even as he calls down divine judgment on his enemies. Yo. So below here we have some abilities that he can use, but before we go into that, let's read his passive ability, because this passive ability is insane. So basically his passive ability, which only he has, like no other heroes has, this is his passive ability. Healing Pulse. Melee finishers heal Wingrave and 1 nearby ally. So basically melee finishers. When I hear the word melee finisher, I imagine, you know, for example, when you attack in a game like this, you know, you click your mouse, click, 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 and then he attacks, like, attack, and then maybe like a hard attack, like, boom. So, you know, like, small attack, hard attack, small attack, hard attack. That's what I think the gameplay is going to be like in this game. So when it says melee finisher here, heals Wingrave and 1 nearby ally. In my head, I think that it's every time, for example, you click 3 times on the mouse, you know, attack, big attack, big attack, and every time you do that big attack, it basically gonna heal you and your friends. It could also, and again, because we haven't played the game and people who played it has NDA, so they can't really tell you if it's true or not. It could also be all these different spells that you can use. That is basically what they call a melee finisher. So it could either be when you use a spell that he heals, or it could be what I said is every time he, you know, does his melee combo that you heal. But basically, as you can see, he's gonna heal people every time he finish a melee finisher. The thing about this game is that you can use any weapon in this game. Like Wingrave, he is default a person. His signature weapon is the Bastion. The name of the celestial architects are woven into the steel, and a champion with fate can still call on their lights. So basically this weapon is his normal weapon. He's like a defender with a sword and shield. But this game is not limited. This game is like, you know, Warframe, where you can actually use like any weapon on any hero in the game. So basically, if I wanted to, and that's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run a huge 2-hand sword on Wingrave. Can you imagine this paladin looking guy with a big 2-hand sword on the back? Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And imagine every time I finish a melee finisher with that big 2-hand sword, it heals me and my friends. It's the best retribution paladin we could ever get in a game. So, but of course you could also run the shield build if you wanted, or etc. It has to be said, because of this passive, he's not gonna be a hero that is, you can use ranged weapons if you wanted, like a gun, but it's not really gonna give you anything good like using a gun, because basically this passive here tells you it needs a melee finisher. So if you're using a gun, you're basically wasting your entire passive ability. So maybe all the other heroes is very good with both melee and ranged, but this guy, nah, he needs a melee weapon. And that's how it is. So if you're not into melee, you should skip this guy, but if you like melee, you'll love him. So basically his weapon also, his signature weapon. I'm not quite sure how you actually get these signature weapons, but once you get his signature weapon called the Bastion, it has an ability, like each weapon has its own ability. And this weapon here is called Celestial Renewal. Raise your shield and create an area of effect healing pools to heal yourself and nearby allies. So basically, if you're running with this weapon here, you will have an additional healing ability which heals everyone in your party. So of course, I can see if someone is asking me to join them as a healer, I would probably join with this weapon on. If they don't really care if it's a healer or defense, or they just like need someone else, I'll probably run with my two-hand sword. But you know, still saying this weapon here would be pretty efficient if you need to heal people. But still, without this weapon, you still can heal every time from your passive, which is pretty cool. So it doesn't really matter too much which weapon you have. Well, let's look at the abilities. So first ability is called Righteous Strike. Hitting an enemy causes an explosion of healing energy to shoot out and heal Wingrave and a nearby ally. So basically already the first ability you have, you can see here he's like boom, slashes. That is pretty cool, because that means you have a healing ability here. So you have a healing ability from your passive, you have a healing ability from your signature weapon if you're using that, and you have a healing ability on your first ability. Let's call this the Q ability. You know, you have to press Q on your keyboard or X on the PlayStation controller. So, deals damage and heals you and a nearby ally. That's fun. Like, I'm pretty sure that my friends I'm going to be playing with are Blue Bambis. If you want to have someone to play with, you can join my Discord community down in the description. There's a link for it. I think people are going to be happy for having me in that party, because I'm going to keep healing everyone all the time, which I think people would appreciate. The next ability is called Radiant Pulse. Forms a divine shield that blocks projectiles and boosts the defense of allies standing behind it. That's pretty cool. Like, did you see that? It actually follows him. It's kind of like Reinhardt. Is that what he's called from Overwatch? Like, he uses the shield then, and then it just keeps following him. That's pretty cool. Like, forms a divine shield, blocks projectiles, and boosts defense of allies standing behind it. So basically, anything people shoot at you, you're just like, no, you can't do that here. I wonder how much, like, if it's like gonna block everything for 3 seconds, or if it's gonna like block you know, up to 200 damage or something like that. Next ability, Judgment. Marks enemies for judgment. Anyone hitting a judged enemy will restore their own health. Jesus, how many healing abilities does this guy have? That is insane. So basically you mark, let's say you're against a boss, you mark the boss with judgment, and everyone attacking the boss is gonna heal themselves. He's gonna heal people now with his, every time you finish a melee finisher, he's gonna heal people with his Q ability, he's gonna heal people with his signature weapon, and he's gonna heal people with this judgment spell. This guy is outstanding. I'm gonna say, you need a Wingrave. Like, if you don't have a friend who plays Wingrave, you need new friends, because you need a Wingrave in your party. I'm just saying, it's massive. Then he has, I'm pretty sure this is like his ultimate spell, so this is like ultimate. A powerful barrier that makes anyone standing in it immune to damage. Immune, sorry, I'm not English, so not native English. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that word. I know what it means, but immune, you know what I mean. Immune, fuck. Standing in it, immune to damage, and it heals them over time. Bro, we got even more healing. What the hell? This is insane. You got healing from this, Righteous Strike, you got healing from Judgment, and now you also got healing from Divine Ages, you got healing from his passive, and you got healing from his signature weapon. I'm saying, like, if you don't have a person in your party who's playing Wingrave, you need new friends, because this guy is gonna help your team so much. Depends on how good this signature weapon is, the shield with the healing. I might have to run it. If it's okay to run like another two-hand sword or like something like that, I'm definitely gonna do that. I wonder if like there's gonna be any like two-hand weapons having a little healing spell too, because then it's nice to be able to switch between those two with different healing playstyles. But that's the really cool thing. This guy and every hero in this game, they have their own abilities, their own passive, their own signature weapon. I'm not sure if other heroes can use other heroes' signature weapons, or they're like bound to the hero. But if you can use other signature weapons from other heroes, that would be pretty cool. But keep in mind, like, every weapon in this game is gonna have its own ability, so it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. So that's basically Wingrave, ladies and gentlemen. That is Wingrave, and again, you need a Wingrave in your party. He is dope. So before we stop this video, let's hear some background story about him. Are you ready for hearing some background story about Wingrave? Wingrave is an Archon Templar, clad in spell-forged armor and sustained by his faith in the Architects. Long before the Gloomfall, he fought monsters in the shadows and defended the people of the Empire from the terrifying threats of the Maze. He's a natural leader and a true hero, born up to by his honest faith in the light and the Empire. These are the things that Wingrave's Echo remember when he is first reborn. Of all the champions, Wingrave is the one who most feels like a hero, a true champion of light. However, as the player uncover more of Wingrave's past, they will uncover the darker side of the Empire and the Archons. The fact that not all the nicest of the Maze are monsters, and brutal actions like the massacre of the monks at Aurelian. Ultimately, Wingrave's Echo will have the opportunity to be a better man than the original, to live up to his ideals and be the champion he could and should have been. So basically, this guy comes... See, if you don't know, Wayfinders is like... You have to think about this like a multiverse game, where every of these champions are unique, but they all are reborn. Let's say that, you know, they all come from different multiverses around the world. You know, like you have Spider-Verse with Spider-Man in different Spider-Worlds. You have Wingrave in all these different multiverses. Basically, they all died to this gloom, as I think of it. And you have this last world here where they're getting reborn into it. So that's what they mean, like, you're gonna have a lot of Wingraves running around in the cities, but they're all gonna have different armor, different specs, different playstyle, because they all, you know, come from these different multiverses. It might not be how the story is 100% tied, but that's, you know, the logic behind it. So basically, you're gonna have all these Wingraves coming from the, like, other universes, reborn into this world here, trying to save this world here, and as his background story is that he's a Templar, he might have been a bit toxic in his past, but that's what he's gonna change now to become an even better Wingrave than he was before. So, yeah. Well, that was 13 minutes of talking about Wingrave from my website. I can't wait to actually get into the game tomorrow and be able to make videos inside the game and show you the spells and like talk about him and stuff like that. But just, you know, to let you know, this is Wingrave. Hope you enjoyed the video. We all hyped for this game. Fingers crossed that the game will release tomorrow and not hit by another delay. So, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.